Welcome to this video. You're about to see the discussion between two gentlemen. One is pro the use of AI in the drug and pharmaceuticals industry. The other one is against. One brings very good points like how it can find new molecules, how it can speed up the whole process, how it can deal with huge chunks of data and figure out patterns that you can't see clearly. While the other says that it's a resource-intensive process, it will bring a bunch of issues and even ethical and a bunch of them, as you'll see. Enjoy! So, in regards to all these AI possibilities in terms of boosting the pharmaceuticals and drug discovery department, I think it will be a net positive. And I'll tell you why. Think about this. AI is able to find patterns where humans either wouldn't see it or would take a long time to detect it. If we feed AI with a bunch of clinical data and information from patients, which we have a lot of it, it will scour through all that data, which is extensive in time, in quantity of data, years, God knows how many hundred patients, and will find the patterns. Let's say in diabetes or in hypertension, if it will find patterns of things that we can't understand, and then from that take conclusions that we can actually use and apply in the real world to cure people and help them. And maybe even think about this, predict things before they have happened. Doesn't it sound exciting? I see what you're saying. A future in which we can predict things before they happen and then prevent them does sound exciting. And it gives me Minority Report vibes on the movie. But I'll tell you something. Having a black box doing all the stuff in the drug industry and pharmaceutical discovery will not be a net positive. Because think about this, if you have an algorithm which is outsourced from a third-party company, which is being fed God knows how many information from patients, private information, this will raise a bunch of issues, starting with the validity of that information in the first place. In terms of privacy and who's regulating all this. This will add a bunch of extra steps to regulate this, which will, instead of speeding up as you're saying, it will slow down the industry. Well, I see what you mean, slowing down the industry is a problem, but I don't think that will happen. Think about this. Think about the potential of AI. Let's say you have an AI that is built specifically to find, to deal with molecules and find possible potential molecules that are very, very likely to do a specific action on the human body to cure something per se. Let's say what will happen is that AI will figure out that molecule way faster than us by patterns that it can recognize and that we either can't or will take a lot of time, as I said before. And the result is that even though we have this black box that we don't really know how it did figure out what it did figure out, in the final product we get a pharmaceutical drug that it works and saves people's lives. So this will be definitely a great addition to the industry. Well, I understand how exciting it sounds to have more drugs being available that can cure things either that we couldn't cure properly or that we couldn't cure at all. That's exciting for society. But AI is not bringing that. AI is bringing a lot more trouble to the industry. Let's think about how these systems are so resource demanding in the material world, because as much digital as this might all sound, this all requires electricity, this all requires, let's say, servers, computers, the storage for data. This AI software requires huge facilities and consumes a lot of resources. At the end of the day, not everyone will be able to do this, and this will maybe create a new form of competition in the industry which will halt progress and discourage other little startups who don't have access to this information because they're just discredited. Do you see how this will slow down the whole industry?